Well, good evening. My name is Samantha Andrews, and I'm educator for experiential learning here at the Frist Center for the Visual Arts. I've had the pleasure of being Ava Young's mentor for the past 2 years. Welcome and thank you for attending this night's production of Fashion Reaction. Before we begin, I must go over a few housekeeping rules and requests. First, if you would take out your cell phone and turn it off or turn it on silent, that would be greatly appreciated. Please make sure that all your belongings are pushed under your chair and that your legs are away from the main aisle as to keep from causing a tripping hazard. You may take photographs during the performance, but to ensure the safety of our performers, please turn off your flash. Please hold discussion and applause until the end of the entire performance. We ask that you remain in your seat for the duration, which will be about 30 minutes. Should you have to get up, then please use the outside aisles as not to interfere or to distract, and restrooms are located in the back of the auditorium. Before we begin, I'd like to thank Metro Nashville Arts Commission, Tennessee Arts Commission, and the National Endowment for the Arts for their continued support of the Frist Center for the Visual Arts. On behalf of Ava and myself, I would like to acknowledge and thank those individuals who helped us get to this day. First, thank you to Ava's mom, Eva, for nurturing her daughter's creativity from a young age and being so flexible during her time here at the Frist. You yourself are a source of great inspiration. Thank you to Ava's friends at Big Picture High School, to her advisor, Jessica Black, and her principal, Shay Denning. Ava is lucky to have had the opportunity to attend a school that values the experience of the student as an individual. Thank you to the officers from the Vanderbilt Asian American Student Association who met with Ava and helped her understand the importance of cultural sensitivity. Thank you to Southern Word, who provided free poetry workshops around the city and who welcomed Ava into their fold, and they introduced her to the power of the spoken word. Thank you to the director of the Frist Center and to the Frist Center curators for taking risks on programs and exhibitions that not only inspired and transformed the way Ava thought of herself as an artist, but undoubtedly inspire many more in her generation. Thank you to the Frist Center education team for providing rare and exceptional opportunities that transform the lives and futures of teens all around our city. Thank you to all the colleagues, friends, and others who played a part in the research and development of Ava's project and who have volunteered to have a role in the event tonight. And lastly, thank you for the countless gestures of kindness, gifts, and donors who not only helped offset the cost of Ava's supplies, workshops, and classes, but provided infinite inspiration and encouragement. It is no coincidence that we decided to hold Ava's event during this current exhibition out of the 25 exhibition changes she has seen during her time at the Frist Center. Please take a moment after the show to visit our galleries and discover how, just like Ava Young, Monet, Van Gogh, and Matisse were once also transfixed and inspired by the creations of the East. And now I'm very proud to present Ava Young's Fashion Reaction.
花が咲いたよ花が咲いたよひどく風に怯えた誰も見たことない花が咲いていたよ よひどく風に怯えた誰も見たことない花が咲いていたようだ花が咲いたよ花が咲いたよ見たことない花が咲いていた花などないそれはあるはずもないと思ってたらそうしたら花があるだよ誰も見たことない見えるはずもない咲くはずもない花が咲いてたしそこにやはりそこに確かにそこにあるだよ花が咲いたよ花が咲いたよひどく風に怯えた誰も見たことない花が咲いていたよ
Hinomaru. We may fall down, but we get back up. The rising sun shines brighter than before. Naoko, Tekauchi. Sailor Moon was Genesis. Neon Genesis, Evangelion. Yu-Gi-Oh!, Dragon Ball Z, the classics, the beginning, and the end. Comme des garçons. Restriction. Yoji Yamamoto. Contain your creativity. Protect yourself from them. Protect yourself from yourself. Sweet little pink girl, Lolita. Cult party Kai. Lingerie and lollipops. Ball-jointed dolls and plaid skirts. Fetishism and power. Death Note. Anime starter. Nana. Aku no Hana. Dark images and twisted stories. Fandom with cloth and thread. Wear your love. Embrace your characters. Cosplay or fashion, any way you transform. Kyrie Pamu Pamu. Thank God it's Sunday. The Kawaii ambassador informed the world. Bright colors, textured fabrics, platform shoes will paint the streets on Sunday. This day, we can dress how we want. Suicide forest in Japan. 100 bodies were found in the forest. The complete manual of suicide, written by Wataru Tsurumi. 1 million copies sold. The obsession began. Designer Jeremy Scott, Fall/Winter 2012 line. Trendsetters in Harajuku. 21, Shiny, Mina Kwan. The trend spread throughout the world. complaining about things made in China, you still want it cheap. To get it, the factory workers are mistreated, working day and night with little pay. Some workers wanted to find peace in the concrete below the building's feet, but a net ruined their dreams. Woman in China, she was the image of the suicide rate. Some say the image was beautiful, but pain flowed from her wrist and her eyes. Conflict with self, happy exterior, sad interior. KTZ and Choku Mu, yin, dark, female, yang, white, male. Workers in factories, working 30 hours straight, jumping from the factory windows in protest. The company responds with nets. Consume the artificial, embrace the avant-garde, waste the culture. Man's worth is more than mine. Put her in the trash. The government killed their wanted fetus, poisoning the XX while the XY lives on. Teguki, gone. Ri, gam, gone. For the chic kids on the block in black. Every man must enter the military. 1.5 years. Actors and idols must do their time. Tattoos to escape, so they pay their time behind bars. G-Dragon's kudeta, death, symbol of rebirth, reinventing. How did you die? Why did you die? Creation made the creator. Nick Cave. Recycled materials, the leftovers. Struggle from expectations led to peace.
Testing. Testing, testing. Okay, so we have about 10 minutes to do some question answer with Ava, to ask her about maybe about her process or her ideas. So if anybody would like to ask a question, I would love to come and see you. Anyone? If you would, introduce yourself first.
Gladly. I'm Doris Jones, Ava's English teacher. I am so proud of you. I don't know what to say at this stage. What I'm wondering is that you were so succinct and managed to get in everything that is sort of germane, the very seed of that culture. How much and how long did it take you to decide what to leave out to make it this poignant?
Like, why did I choose this topic?
Well, I understand the topic. I just don't understand how much time it took you to leave so much out and only get to the core of it, so that we're left with all the important things, everything that we need to know that's in your heart. How did you go through that process?
It started with pop culture of these countries, and now I know just how popular the pop culture is around the world with those countries, so I didn't want to focus too much on the pop culture because people know about that now. K-pop, I can go around Nashville and find friends who like K-pop now. And so I wanted to focus on the underground issues that were going on in these countries. Thank you.
My name is Marcus. I'm also Ava's social studies teacher. And she knows I like to ask a lot of questions. First of all, what language were you speaking? If so, that's spectacular.
Oh, thank you.
But secondly, I want to know what countries were you talking about, and if you could name those countries, what are some issues that are being faced with these countries right now that you had in your presentation?
The first country I started out with is the flag of Japan. Excuse me. Japan, they have a high suicide rate with high school kids and businessmen working out of Japan. We lead into fetishism with the young and the innocent. And then we'll go into South Korea, and it's funny because I have the most obsession with South Korea, but I have the least piece about Korea in my in this exhibition that you guys just saw, because I still only know a lot about their pop culture. But the things I do know is that they have the highest suicide rate with teenagers. So I want to talk about that a little. And then we go into China. And China has a lot of issues with factory workers being mistreated, as I talked on that a little. And they also have the highest suicide rate with women, which is different from the other countries that we've dealt with in this exhibition. So I've worked with China and South Korea and Japan as the countries that I paid attention to.
Sorry, Jenny. I'm coming right there, so sorry.
Hello, my name is Harry Felder, and I'm one of Ava's classmates. And I was just wondering, could you explain your inspiration behind the outfit that had the model bound in ropes and had paint over her mouth?
Yes. So that was worn by the lovely Sierra. And this piece was about not being able to fully be yourself because society is going to confine you. And you're wrapped up, and you can't truly be yourself because of all these other ideas that people have for you. And then with the bar over her mouth, like, she can't say what she wants to say either. She has to worry about her culture and do what her culture wants her to do. And so that was my views when I was putting this piece together. And I also wanted to add in the rope tying, just because when I saw some of it, the art pieces done online, and a lot of that stuff started in Japan, so I kind of wanted to add that in it too. It's called shibari, which is to tie. So I wanted to add those two pieces together.
I'm Tommy Anderson here with Jessica Black. Do you know why the suicide, especially in Japan, do you know why the suicide rate is so high with businessmen and high schoolers, or is that something that you didn't really get into?
We're taking it back to like last year from when I did my research paper. With businessmen, it's about being the supporter of their family and having to live up to those expectations, society's expectations of what a good businessman is supposed to be. So you can Google pictures of this forest and see the images of these men hanging from the trees, and each person has their own story. They each have their own reason to why they did what they did, but just from my brief research, that's what I got from it. And with teenagers, it's also about the expectations that the whole society puts on them to do well and make sure they go to these great colleges.
This gentleman in the back was first.
Hey, Eva, I'm Aaron. I was just curious if you could talk a little bit about your Nick Cave influence and the piece that, or the person who was inspired by that.
Okay.
For that.
The Nick Cave sound suit was inspired by Nick Cave sound suits. It started as a project that I did here for the Frist, and we had a strict time to get that completed. And that was just about me using any resource that I had to make this extravagant piece that someone can wear. And I used different materials that I found here at the Frist that were recycled, and then we went out and went to the dollar store and bought as many flowers as we could. And I remember I was talking to the news, and I was like, this outfit probably costs less than $50 to make. So it was about using what we had and making this beautiful creation. And I remember when I wore that sound suit, just how crazy I felt, because I transformed into the suit, and people were really scared of her, and that kind of, because I became her, I was like, why are you scared of me? So I have a whole different view on what's considered different, but yeah.
Hi, I'm Rebecca, and I also teach at Big Picture High School. I can see what needs to be changed. Is there anything that's happening in those cultures that's moving towards a more positive note? And is there anything that we can do here to help?
I know that when it comes to South Korea, a lot of the pop media has brought attention to how the high schoolers are treated. Like one K-pop group named BTS, they have made songs about rebellion against the school system. And Zico, who's another Korean artist, he's talked about rebelling against it. And Japan has, with Japan, it seemed, from what I've read, it seems like they wanted to definitely make sure that they were doing something to help with their suicide rate, because the whole world was starting to know how bad the suicide rate was there. And as far as what we can do, I think we should focus on making sure the kids around us are being treated well, and that we know if they're in trouble. We have to start here before we focus on the other countries. So that's my opinion on the suicide thing.
Hello, I'm India James. I had a question about the outfit with the plastic bags and the Chinese boxes. I love that outfit, by the way. I wanted to know the meaning behind that outfit.
What when I was making it?
The outfit with the plastic bags and the Chinese boxes. Mm-hmm. I want to know the meaning behind it. It was really nice.
Oh, okay. All right. This one was about consumerism. And I can say a lot of our first, when it comes to Asia, we'll say a lot of things that we all have a connection with is we've all had Chinese food. That's the first connection, truthfully. And just because you eat at a restaurant, Chinese restaurant up the street, doesn't mean you know everything about that culture. It doesn't mean you can go around and brag, oh yeah, I know everything about what this culture is about. So it was kind of bringing beauty into something that was negative, in a way. And it kept escalating. Like, it started with the chopstick skirt, and it was like, why don't we make to-go bags as the top? And then it was more of just pushing the envelope with this piece. Yeah.
Are you guys pointing at each other, across, or which?
I'm Latavia, as Ava would call me Pooh, her cousin. And my question is, what did you discover about yourself as an artist through making this exhibition?
I take a lot of risk, even with the subject matter that I've done. I'm okay with being myself. I want to make things that I want to wear, and I want to make things that are going to be appealing to other people. I make for me. I learned that art is a good way to vent yourself. It's like venting back to yourself. You make something, you can look at it, and you learn about yourself when you look at it. And just the whole artist process. I view myself as an artist now. That's definitely changed. Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you everybody for being here this evening. We appreciate you coming out. The little stickers that you were given, that is our free invitation to you to see our beautiful galleries, explore, the artists that are in our galleries, and think about the artists within yourselves, and contemplate what Ava has shown you here this evening. Also, there is an event going on tonight. If you're a teenager, you can get into Art Quest with your anything that says you're a teenager. Sorry if you're old people like me, you can't go in. But the space is open for you to make art, be creative, and do some fun things. There's also a workshop upstairs where you can create a manga mask inspired by Ava's creations. So thank you for coming this evening, and travel safely.
Thank you.